So you're looking to flee New York, Los Angeles, San Francisco, or some other large city that's now being emptied out due to the pandemic, where taxes are going through the roof and politicians are out for even more blood from wealthy people. But where do you go? If you're like me and you like large cities, you probably don't want to go to some small town somewhere in the countryside of Andorra. But today, I'm going to share with you 4 tax-friendly megacities where you can set up shop and enjoy life. Hi, I'm Andrew Henderson. Here at Nomad Capitalist, our team of 30 people worldwide, our network of global experts cultivated over the last dozen years, and myself help 7- and 8-figure entrepreneurs legally go where you're treated best. You can learn more at nomadcapitalist.com. And today we're going to talk about the biggest of the big, the megacities, where you can go, you can set up shop, you can live, and you can reduce your taxes below the rates that you probably are paying right now in Sydney, New York, Los Angeles, San Francisco, where they just passed yet another tax on people who earn too much. So let's start with number 1, and that is Hong Kong. Now, if you've been watching CNN, you probably think that Hong Kong is but a bloody stump right now. And yet I work with people in Hong Kong, I talk to people in Hong Kong, and by and large, they're all pretty much staying there. They're all pretty happy, and they all feel like things have just gone back to life as normal. And so if you're looking to benefit from low tax rates, Hong Kong has long excelled at that. They have very few taxes. Corporate tax rates are in the teens. Personal taxes are also in the teens, but you've got a lot more flexibility legally that you might have in a country like the United States, for example. And so you can go there, and if you want to set up a business, you can set up that business, show why that business will help the territory of Hong Kong, and you can get a residence permit. If you have another way to get a residence permit, you can run your business overseas. And so you could even potentially lower the tax rates below those teens, and arbitrage that rate down into the single digits. And you're going to live in one of the most robust cities that I've ever spent time in. So Hong Kong, great opportunity for someone to go and spend time. Little legal tax planning, you can get your tax rate very low. Now, one city that people might not imagine to be tax friendly, but that could be for the right person, is London. If you take advantage of the UK's flexible tax regime for people who are moving into the country, you can spend at least the first several years living in London with relatively light taxation. Now, to get immigration status in the UK, you might want to make an investment, for example, £2 million into government bonds. The entrepreneurial options have become more difficult, but certainly one of the most vibrant, large cities in the world, connections to everywhere in the world, certainly can go head-to-head, in my opinion, with a New York or with a Hong Kong. So certainly a place for someone who's not from the UK to consider, at least for a while. Another city you might not imagine to see on a list like this is Moscow, Russia. Now, what's interesting is how Russia has offered tax incentives. Headline tax rates are generally in the teens. You're not going to pay nothing, but you can dramatically reduce your taxes versus most Western countries. It almost makes you ask, like, who won the Cold War? The U.S. and the West was fighting for freedom and capitalism, and now you're giving away half your money. You can go to Russia and you can pay a lot less. Huge city, takes forever to get from one end to the other. All the big city comforts, consumer conveniences, things are 24/7. You can go to the dentist at 10 o'clock at night if you want. Stuff brought to your door, endless apps. I mean, everything is the big city kind of convenience that you won't find in a lot of places overseas. You'll find it in Moscow. Now, not as English friendly as many people would want, but you can start a business, you can get a residence permit there, and you can reduce your tax rate dramatically. Now, the 4th megacity, there aren't too many to begin with, but the 4th city on our list is Mexico City. This is one of the largest cities in the world, and it's a great place to be. You have warm people, you have such great food, and you start to really gain weight when you're there for too long. But Mexico City, not the place that you might think is tax-friendly, because Mexico itself is not the most tax-friendly country for tax residents. However, they have a rather unique tax code where if your business is not in Mexico, there are some opportunities, at least for a while, to where you can pay pretty minimal amounts of tax living in Mexico City, running a business from somewhere else. And so there's more tax planning involved there, and it probably doesn't work forever. but definitely a great city to spend some time in. One example that I think you should consider if you're looking to spend time in megacities is potentially splitting up your time between these places, and then you'd have a bit more control over your taxation. There's many different options you could choose, but let's say you follow my trifecta method. You spent 4 months in Mexico City, you'll probably be fine there. You spent 4 months in London, perhaps you'd pay some tax there. Maybe you want to spend 4 months in Hong Kong. And so you'd have a very light rate of tax overall if you're like me and you like moving between different places. Certainly would not be cheap to maintain homes in each of those places to go between. But those are 4 tax-friendly cities that, at least for some people, and at least in some situations, and at least for a certain period of time, megacities where you can live and with the right tax planning, reduce your tax bill versus what you're paying in a city like a Sydney, in a New York, in a San Francisco, where politicians are coming and trying to take more. These are not zero tax jurisdictions. There are plenty of those. Not many with megacities, but these, at least you can dramatically lower your taxes with the right planning. How can Nomad Capitalist help you? 4 ways. Number 1, subscribe to our channel and click the notification bell to make sure you get our new video every day. Number 2, get a copy of Nomad Capitalist, the book. You'll learn a lot of my personal experiences over a dozen years of studying this stuff, as well as exactly some of the strategies that you can use to build your Nomad Capitalist plan. Number 3, if you're not sure where to start, but you want to come and learn from my team and I, you want to come and mingle with like-minded people, learn more about our live conference, Nomad Capitalist Live. It's coming up soon. And number 4, if you want some help right now because you've got a burning issue, you need something solved, you want to lower your taxes, get a second passport, or build the Nomad Capitalist lifestyle of your dreams, go to nomadcapitalist.com and click on Become a Client.